That's right, and we're back live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Mi linda raza, do me a favor. There's a plethora, pinche palabra, plethora. There's a bunch of buttons right here at the bottom, cabrones. Si gustan, if you support the channel, please hit the thumbs up right there. It helps us reach wider and wider audiences. Por favor, I know this is your favorite Chicano stream, so it should be no thing but a chicken wing to hit the pinche like button. Now, next to it, there's a button for the creeps, the weirdos, the chomos, the predators, the fake tough guys, all of these lames on the internet and their supporters, right? You can hit the chinga tu madre button. It's a thumbs down. I highly appreciate it. Hey, you got to play one way or another, bubble. So before we get into the title of this video, now let's talk the facts and Little Toro's demise. Let's go through the formalities. Let's keep it professional, cabrones. Gracias to all the day oneers. Gracias to everyone inside the members only. The members only is what I call the backbone of the community, man. I highly appreciate the members only for everything that they do, for rocking with your boy, man. We started from a couple hundred, now look where we're at. It's just because we've been grinding, man. We've been on this mission right here to spread cultura, Dios, familia, everything that we do, right? And so I appreciate the members only more than they know. And if you are new to the channel, hey, stick around, man. We drop nothing but fire bangers on the daily. That's an absolute fact. That's an absolute fact, all right? Anyways, let's go ahead and get into what this video is about, because we're at a point now that all the clout chasers, everyone has already gotten their views, right? They milked it and milked it and milked it until they couldn't even milk it anymore. There's a lot of content creators that, you know, will get a person's passing away and will wring it out like a mop until there's not even a drop left, and then claim that they're not in it for the money, you know, but it is what it is, right? We know who they are. We don't got to name names. I've always been more observant, and I'd rather let all the facts roll out. You know, we ain't trying to be the first one. Breaking. What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like you're a pinchy storm chaser chasing the fucking storm. Breaking. We ain't trying to break nothing here, because usually the ones that jump first obviously are prone to make mistakes. We've seen it happen time and time again. Will these pendejos ever learn their lesson? Of course, I'm talking about the runner, Bud Light, other individuals. No, they won't learn their lesson. They'll just keep on pushing, being fakes, frauds, and phonies, but want you to call them real ones and solid and side with them, right? But anyways, so now that we know all the facts, man, in what happened to Antonio Valdez, right? AKA Little Toro. I believe he changed his name sometime in the end to Big Toro, but I mean, Little Toro. I'm going to keep referring to him as Little Toro, right? Because that little name change didn't last long enough for it to permeate, right? So this individual has been on a crash out for at least, I don't know, man, let's just say a couple years now. It hasn't been no couple months, man. He's been on and off on YouTube, but been very unstable, man. Going from hotel, that I'm homeless, that I'm up, that I'm down, that I'm saved, Jesus, I got rid of all my music, I took them down, now I'm banging again, I don't like my grandpa, now I like my grandpa, and all this roller coaster ride where anyone with any kind of sense to them can see, man, something is not clicking upstairs. You know what I mean. En su pinche cabeza les falta unas pinches tuercas al güey, man. Anyone could see it. It's kind of like if you see Crip Mac. You see Crip Mac and you think, wow, he's just funny. But there's still something not clicking up there. But people will use these individuals for gimmicks, right? Like kind of like Lefty Gunplay. I know you remember Lefty Gunplay. You know who he is, cabrones. Lefty Gunplay, you know, he recently checked into a rehab. And after he checked out of the rehab, he gained some weight for one, which, you know, people gaining weight, they call that healthy. It's not really healthy. It's just you're big now. But I get it when they mean healthy. Healthy is, let me see your pinchy six-pack and let me see, you know, how many pull-ups, push-ups, and fucking burpees you could do. That's healthy. But I get it. Most pinteros, someone with a little belly, they're healthy, right? Well, it is better than being a sucked-up tecato, I'll tell you that. But before he went to rehab, did you notice his tendencies that I kept pointing out video after video, right? Well, I didn't do too many. I might have done one on the pinche baboso. Maybe not even that. I don't even think I did one. I might have just mentioned it in passing. But his mannerisms where he couldn't stop moving his head like this and his fingers, like, you know, all that shit, that was all drug related. That was 100% all drug related. So, you know, I call these things because I do have personal experience. Trust me, I work in the community and I work also with disabled individuals. So I'm not just making shit up out of thin air. Don't believe that, right? Something's not clicking in Crip Mac and something was not clicking in Little Toro, right? Now, some backstory that maybe the internet didn't know, but only those that are privy knew, right? I mean, it's privy just being in circles. That's it, right? Not let me make phone calls and find out to other YouTubers, my sources. And no, this is just some inner kind of intricacies. But when he caught that case with a 14-year-old minor, right? There was 3 people, I believe. It could have been 4, but at least 3 were charged and convicted. One way or another, right? You could say no contest, which happened in the case of him, right? No contest, which led up to not having to register on Megan's Law, which is dodging a bullet, right? Kind of like the Mañaco, right? If the parents from the Mañaco's case with the little girl would have called the cops, then he would have been on Megan's Law. We know that, right? So he dodged the bullet, right? Little Toro dodged the bullet. But after that, he had the balls to pull up and go to the meetup, right? Hey, we want you to meet at this little park. And guess what happened when he got to that little park? He got beat down. He got hands put on him, right? Now, I'm not here to disrespect the individual. No, I'm not here to disrespect. He's passed already. And plus, look at me. I'm on the back end when all the facts are getting out. So the last thing you can say, even if this fucking video gets 100 views, I don't give a shit. I'm going to tell you what the facts are, man. These are the facts, man. At least he had the balls, right? The Mañaco won't have the balls to go over there when Lucky's telling him to pull up. But this guy had the balls to go and to answer, right? And trust me, when it comes to the streets are absolutely notorious, ruthless, cutthroat. They are what they are. You know what I mean? Anyone that's really in the streets, it knows that the streets have a really, really high standard, right? They have a standard where you don't mess with women, you don't mess with children, you don't touch, hurt children. And if you do anything of the sort or anything related, even a branch off those trees, hurting women, hurting children, branch off that tree as well, you will find out that the streets have absolutely no mercy. They don't want to hear what you got to say. They don't care if you bring her on a video and explain, and try to get everyone on your team. And, oh, you're a real one. You're solid. Don't trip. You're solid. You're solid on the internet. But the streets and the internet, 2 different worlds. 2 different. Even a lot of people, you know, all the net bangers on the internet, you're a lame, you're this, you're that. They really don't know the streets because, for one, I know they don't know the streets because the way they talk on the internet, no lame, no anyone that has any kind of street cred wouldn't come on here blowing up the internet with little chavala comments like that, right? And 2, the streets don't care about the internet. They just don't. The real streets don't. Anyways, so he went to the meeting. I got to tip my hat. He went to a meeting, but he got the beat down of his pinche vida. And then from there, he was ostracized. Again, you could be thinking, oh, Mike, he talking shit. He already passed on. I'm not, man. I told you guys, man, straight from my heart, man. I'm never going to fake the funk ever. Someone passes away, I'm only on here stating the obvious facts, period. If I was a clout chaser, I would have made this video 2 weeks ago or in the heat of everything that's coming out. But that's not when the facts come out. That's why we got to be quicker to hear and slower to speak. If not, we're going to come out like the Runner, Bud Light, and other individuals who made false narratives on people, and it's not the first time from trying to break a pinchy story because they got no clecha. Probably when they went to the other side, they fucking left all their morals on the other side, right? But it is what it is, right? I don't give a shit about that neither. Here we go. So he got the calentada of his life, and from there he was ostracized. No more GT digital distribution, messing with Gold Toes. I mean, Gold Toes obviously was only doing it for the interest of the business. That's it. That's all Gold Toes is in it for, right? He gets a lot of flack too, but I get it. I get it. The streets are the streets, right? They push a hard line. I get it, and I respect it. So he was ostracized. No more music videos, no more on top of the limelight, etc. And then he jumps on YouTube, but he was not ready to jump on YouTube. He was not ready. He was crashing left and right. The one hotel incident absolutely proved that this guy just whooped that dude's ass just to take over his hotel room, just to have a place to stay. He's struggling, man. He's struggling. Well, let's talk about the end because I don't want to make it a long video, but everything I said is just facts. And let's just provide more facts over for the people now, right? Let's fast forward it now. He's in LA. He was in Hawaii. In the LA video, it was it's very disturbing, to say the least. Very disturbing. For him to say, is this what the YouTube Yarda wants? Is this it? And all this other shit. And I was like, I was blown away. I was blown away. I was like, the YouTube Yarda wants? What the fuck is this guy even thinking, man? Anyways, so like at that moment, he was getting so hot, like he wouldn't have cared, if 20 people ran up on him. And if the end of his life would have been recorded live on the internet, he wouldn't have cared. And it just would have been sad if it went that way. But this is another tragic situation. So let's get to the end of this video, man. He ends up going back. He ends up going to Grandpa's house, right? And when he goes back, and when he goes to Grandpa's house, at first it's like, again, another roller coaster. I'm here giving my life to the Lord, which I really hope did happen. And we don't know that. We're no one to judge that. I'm the last motherfucker that's going to be on this internet judging a person. Okay, I don't have a judgmental bone in my body. What you do is what you do, man. I got too much on my plate. Okay. So he ended up going back, the roller coaster, right? Jesus deleted my music, this and that. I love my grandfather. Now I'm mad at my grandfather. Now he won't give me any money. And here we go again. Next thing you know, the newspaper article comes out. Concord police or Concord sheriffs report to a welfare check 8 a.m. a couple Fridays ago, and ended up finding 1 deceased and 2 or 3 injured at the scene. No arrests were made, and now the internet, the first one to break it, I believe it was No Paperwork Podcast. I actually was scrolling on Instagram, and it was in the middle of the day, 1 or 2 p.m., sometime around there, between 1 and 3 p.m., and when I saw the post, it was only 56 seconds old, and it said, rumors are. These are rumors because the No Paperwork Podcast is in the mix, and most of them are over there, right, in the Bay Area, right, more north than me, right? I'm on the equator. I'm on Salinas. I'm right here in the middle. And they were the first one to, put out rumors, allegedly they're very clearly watching what they say because it was not confirmed at that point. But then the newspaper article came out that he had went back home. He got into a physical altercation, which all the signs lead up to all the videos, because those are the receipts, the videos he did, right? Love my grandpa, and my grandpa ain't helping me, and all this other stuff, right? He ain't helping my kids. And he owns half of Vacaville. He owns half of a freeway. He whatever the hell he said, right? He's an investor and just made his money, right? And yeah, if you got money, you don't owe anyone a motherfucking thing. I don't owe anyone anything. I got it the same way you got it, out of the mud. But I get it when it's family, etc. They want to hit you up for feria. I get it. So this is what we got, right? We got an altercation. We got the grandfather who ended up getting, hands put on him. Let's just say that, getting sent over to the hospital, And it was because of this individual that we've been talking about, who was a roller coaster of an individual heading to a crash out, man. I mean, it's sad to say, but you really can't be, playing with the devil and then you get surprised when the motherfucker shows up at your doorstep, man. So now the family had to get involved to help the grandfather live, to help him stay alive. At the expense of what? At the expense of this young man's life. That's what it was. Okay. The rest of the information is for the trial. Is for the investigation, is for the reports, and is really for the family. Everything I said are just the facts, man. Just the facts on the back end of the situation. So the crash out was imminent. We all seen it. And I do want to say, rest in peace over to that individual, man. I hope he made it through the pinchy pearly gates, man. It's hard to say, right? First of all, I'm not the judge. Only Jesus is the judge. But it's funny because sometimes, when someone is, when they're doing someone's obituary, oh, my baby was the sweetest boy in the world. He was the sweetest boy in the world. But what you didn't say is that he went out with an AR pinche 15, lighting up a bunch of police, and took a couple bodies with him, and he was banging at the time. But he was such a sweet angel. I don't sugarcoat shit, man. I don't sugarcoat shit. If he went out with rage in his pinche corazon and violence, I can't call it, man. I can't call it. But you guys, I appreciate your time. Finally, a video with all the facts. Nothing but facts, proven. Make anything up? I didn't. I didn't want to just say allegedly's after these people had been saying them for weeks. Just the facts on the back end, you guys. Do me a favor, though. Hit the like button. If you like this kind of dope fire content we drop on the daily, por favor, hit that pinche like button. And don't forget to help others move in excellence, because it's going to bless them. It's going to bless you at the same time. To the next episode of Chicano Tube, gente, I'm out.